What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the FallenRedZeo. I'm back with more McFarlane DC Multiverse figures, and this time we have the Last Night on Earth wave where we get the Build-A-Figure Bane. So this is an alternative storyline that I'll go into later, but so we have a weird version of Batman here where he's in like an asylum outfit. We have this other weird looking Batman of Omega here, and then we get an awesome looking Wonder Woman where she has a mohawk and everything, and then a weird version of Scarecrow. And then they build a giant version of Bane, so like on the back of the box here you can see down there the Bane. So it just looks pretty much like normal Bane. He's just super pale skin, so he's got like white color skin. So it's an awesome looking set, and I'm excited to get this and build the Bane. I know there are a bunch of issues with the Bane, so hopefully we don't have as much issues, but we do have a fix for it in case we do have problems. But the wave itself looks awesome just because they're a bunch of weird looking figures. Like their characters, we know they're just all weird looking, but still I hope they're great figures. So let me go ahead and get them open and we'll check them out together. So we're starting off with the Scarecrow here, and this is a really weird looking figure. It doesn't look like Scarecrow we've seen before, but this is in a weird different universe where the world has ended and many of the heroes have died, including Superman, and Earth has become a wasteland. So it reminds me a lot of like the apocalyptic future from the Zack Snyder movies. But the world has come under control of the new villain called Omega, and there's a Bruce Wayne in the story that is a clone of the original Bruce Wayne and continues the fight on as the Dark Knight. So in this storyline there's a new Scarecrow, and I couldn't find much at all of information on these guys, so we just have the cards that they come with. So I don't know a whole lot about each of these figures, so I have no clue why he looks like this or why anything different about him. But of course Scarecrow of Jonathan Crane, but he looks like he's all dismembered, so it looks like he's old and become like a zombie almost or something. But he has this weird like bag over his head, probably helping him keep alive, and I like how it's like a nice amber color, like a see-through and stuff. And you can see his creepy Scarecrow head underneath there, which we can take this off. It does split apart and it has the noose wrapped around his neck, so we can't take that off. But I like how it has this tubing hanging down here in the back with this little canister in the back, again probably some like fear toxin or something helping keep him alive. But he's got the brown leather jacket on that's all torn up and everything. Looks very similar to what Scarecrow used to wear, and his arms are all wrapped up, going into hands that are now being replaced by these giant like metal fingers that have syringes on the end of them with, I assume, fear toxin in them as well. But his inside looks weird because he's all pretty much just bones, not much skin or anything. See his rib cage and everything there, has his intestines and all sorts of stuff, and the bottom of his spine going into his sacrum and coccyx there. So it just looks really weird, but just a creepy looking figure. And I'll go and pop the mask open there so you can see the Scarecrow face. Again, just looks super creepy. I like how you can still see his hair there though, so he does have some hair, even though he's mostly all skeleton, but just creepy red eyes and everything. So I like that it has this nice bag thing. It makes it look even creepier, but it also looks creepy without it. But first movements, his head there can twist side to side and he can look up and down, so it has some movements in there. The shoulders come up 90 degrees there and can rotate all the way around. We've got a single elbow joint there, as you can see, and it allows it to move back and forth. So it's on the ball joint there, so it allows it to move back and forth, and you can twist it around as well. Then we've got the normal ball joint wrist there, so allow it to bend there and twist all the way around. And then we have the fingers that do have some movements. The thumbs don't move at all. I mean, they are some material that can bend and stuff, but you can see they're kind of separated out into two. So we have like these two and then these two, and they can move around back and forth. And unfortunately the packaging, it was in kind of some of the fingers all bent up. No real movements or anything in the midsection that I know of. And then as you can see, he doesn't have legs, so I do have to hold him up, so that's a little unfortunate that he can't stand up on his own. But he does come with a flight stand here that we can pop him up on. So I just stick him up there like that, so you can see I just have the bottom kind of hooked in there, so he's just kind of floating up in the air there. And he does also have this little piece of his intestine part that does pop out into a peg, and this allows him to hang on the back of Bane, because when I show you the picture he's on the back of Bane, so it allows him to go into our Bane Build-A-Figure. But it is just really weird, and it's funny that you have to put him up on the flight stand just to be able to get him to like stand up at all. But of course once I show the Bane, we can stick him on there and he'll sit there perfectly. But very weird looking Scarecrow, but I think an awesome version at the same time. But then we have his cards, so there's a picture of the Scarecrow there riding on Bane's back, and it's Scarecrow of course from the Last Night on Earth storyline. So on the card here, his name's Jonathan Crane. He's 2'9" now that he's missing most of his body, and he's 70 pounds. It says 20 years in the future, Gotham City is a dystopian wasteland ruled by a mysterious new villain calling himself Omega. Among his lackeys is Scarecrow, aka Dr. Jonathan Crane. The former Gotham University professor turned supervillain has now become an even more twisted and nightmarish version of himself, riding on the back of Bane and brandishing long, fear toxin-filled syringes as fingers. Scarecrow dispenses terror as he hunts down the Dark Knight. So it doesn't really tell you how he became to look like this, but kind of explains more of his backstory. And our next figure is Wonder Woman, and so this is a weird looking Wonder Woman. Looks pretty much like her overall. Very nice looking Wonder Woman outfit, I'd say. It's just, you can see she does have a short haircut style, so she has a little mohawk, so it reminds me a lot of like the newer Captain Marvel. But she has the mohawk design with shaved side of the heads. You can still see she still has her tiara there on her head. Looks very much still like Wonder Woman overall, and then even has the braid going down there in the back. But outfit wise, she looks pretty good. I really think it looks awesome. Again, this would be great for just any Wonder Woman, so it'd be awesome like switch the head out with just a normal Wonder Woman. But she has a red cape hanging down into the back. You can see the textures and everything on there look great. Very similar Wonder Woman outfit as before. So she has the little bra piece on in a metallic red. Nice gold outlining it. Gold bands on her biceps. Silver armor on her forearms there. Blue belt wrapped around her waist. So over here it looks like she has a little knife or something. And then over here she does have a sheath for a long sword. As you can see, nice long sword. Again, nice texture going in there. Then she has the skirting with the gold on the blue. Wonder Woman W right there in the center. Starred on the side, which look great. So that's awesome. Red band wrapped around her thigh. Then going down to her boots. She has knee-high red boots, which look cool. And some gold knee pads on there. So overall, she looks very awesome. Looks like she's ready to kick ass and everything. It's just a different looking Wonder Woman, but awesome at the same time. So for movements, her head there can twist side to side. You can kind of get it to twist all the way around there. Then she look down and look up. So not too bad movements in the neck. Shoulders can come up probably to 90 degrees, but the real stiff cape doesn't allow it to move too much, but it can get up that high. And then there's sort of like that butterfly style movement in there. And of course the arm can rotate around. We get the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so pretty good, and fold back up on itself. Then we got the ball joist wrist where the wrist can twist all the way around and flex back and forth. We have an ab crunch right under her chest, so allows her to rock back and forth and can twist side to side. Then her hips can come up a little bit. It feels like the skirt's a little too stiff to allow her legs to come up too high. Even with forcing it, you can only get about that high. So not too much there, but out to the side, you can get it that far as well. We got a double knee joint that can bend up that far in the back, so not too bad. And then we get the foot on the ball joint that can rock back and forth, twist all the way around. And then we got the toe joint on the end of the foot. So with this Peter McFarlane, I always complain about the joints and stuff. So again, I hate always like the ball style joints. Then she has a little bit of issue with her feet, but I'm getting her to stand up without any base or anything. But speaking of, we do get the base included with this, so just your normal DC McFarlane base. So we'll go ahead and pop her on there. And as you saw, she does have that blue sheath there on her thigh, so she does come with this awesome looking sword. So nice long sword here, nice silver blade, nice gold handle there and everything. So we can go and take and stick this into her hand. So there she's got the sword, and that looks awesome. And then we have her card. So there's a picture of her from the comics. So again, from Last Night on Earth. And on the back, her real name is Diana Prince. She's 6 foot and 165 pounds. And it says the world has been destroyed. The superheroes have lost, and a new evil by the name of Omega have taken over what's left. Now, 20 years in the future, Wonder Woman leads a faction of heroes and survivors living underground known as the New Amazons. Hiding from the world above in order to stay alive, Diana and her band of warriors must choose between retreating deep into the Earth's surface or fighting for a better tomorrow. There you got a little bit more backstory on Diana there. And again, I think she looks awesome. I don't really enjoy the mohawk look too much, but I think, like I said, it'd be awesome if we could switch her head out just for another Wonder Woman, because this would be an awesome looking Wonder Woman if that's the case. And our next figure is the Batman from the storyline. And as you can see, it looks like Batman, not too much different with the mask or the cowl and everything. But you can see his outfit, he is in like a white asylum outfit. So he has all the straps and everything holding him together. Of course, his arms aren't tied up or anything, but that's what it would be like. So this whitish cream outfit with the texture you can see there. I like that instead of the bat, it's got a W on there. I don't really know what it stands for. I don't really know if it's supposed to be like whatever asylum he's in or what exactly. It could just be for Wayne, but it's kind of got that bat logo-ish design to it. But I like the all-white outfit with the brown straps. So his brown straps there on his forearms with even some spikes sticking out of it. Brown belt there around his waist with, of course, the strap coming up in between his legs. Brown strap there around his neck. And down to his legs, he's just got some brown boots on. But I like even more in the back with all the brown straps hanging down. It's supposed to be like his cape, but they just look like the straps, they tie people up with in these outfits. So that's very cool that they incorporated that into like a cape form. But what's really different is his cowl. So you can see it is an all black cowl, but it even has like little strap pieces coming up to make the whole ears and everything. So that's pretty fun. So for his movements, his head can twist side to side, and he can look up and down just a little bit. Of course, with this collar around his neck, you don't get a whole lot of range, but it does have some movement at least. Shoulders can come up 90 degrees, and as you can see, it's got that butterfly design in there and rotation all the way around. He's got a bicep twist, a double elbow joint that can bend up on itself there, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. He has a little bit of crunch and twist right at his waist, so you can twist around in there and crunch back and forth. Hips can come up a little bit there. Again, can't really get him forced up higher than that. Out to the side a little bit there. He's got a double knee joint that can bend up that far in the back so he can kick his own butt. And then the foot rocks back and forth, twist all the way around, and has the toe joint on the end of it. And again, with this figure, not too many issues getting him to stand up, but we do have the base again, so I'll pop him on. He comes with a weapon, but not like anything we've ever had with Batman before. He comes with just a little club stick here. It's an awesome little club that we can pop into his hand. And he even has a holster for it over here on the side, so that's pretty cool. And finally, he comes with a Joker little lantern here. So it's a Joker head inside of a lantern. You can see it's all orange in there, and it got a little Joker head, and you can even take the glass out of it, or plastic, I guess, and you can see the Joker's face there. So in this storyline, again, Joker's head is now dismembered and stuck into this glass, and Batman finds it and kind of carries it around. And they've kind of become like friendly and stuff because they're trying 3, 2, 1, trying to help get the world back to normal. So, but that's pretty awesome that he comes with this little lantern thing, so I can put this in his hand as well. So I got Batman carrying Joker around in the lantern. I also have the card here. So there's a picture of Batman in the outfit with the Joker head down there, again from Last Night on Earth. And his real name is Bruce Wayne. He's 6'2", 210 pounds. It says, in a dystopian future, Bruce Wayne wakes up in Arkham Asylum. He still has his youth, but was never Batman. Bruce dons his bat cowl, breaks out of the asylum, and accompanied by the Joker's animated severed head, begins a surreal journey to solve the mystery of his past and find out who's responsible for destroying the world. Encountering both friends and enemies along the way, the Dark Knight's quest through the devastated landscape may prove to be his last adventure. So there's more on that, and I think overall this figure's pretty cool. It's definitely a different take on Batman, especially with him being in the like asylum outfit. Looks pretty awesome, but cool that it comes with the Joker head. Little stick I could take or leave. It's nothing that crazy going on, but I just think overall it's a nice different take on Batman, and I like the look of this figure overall. And our final figure here we have is Omega, which Omega is the new villain of the storyline. He's kind of in control of the world in Gotham. He maintains control with the use of the anti-life equation from Darkseid, and it's kind of like a new Omega's logo of Darkseid just with bat wings on it and everything, and he uses that to control the world. And we actually find out that this is actually Bruce Wayne, like the real true Bruce Wayne, and he kind of broke down once Superman died, trying to keep his faith in humanity, but kind of they turned against him and beat him up, so he ended up turning bad and taking revenge on the world, but had himself cloned with the Bruce Wayne. But Alfred ended up sneaking that Bruce Wayne away, becoming the Batman we see in this universe, and this Bruce Wayne becomes this evil Omega character. So with that knowledge, it does look a lot like Batman still. It looks almost like a Batman Beyondish style thing, just I like all the gray, like the gray material with the texture and stuff in there. It looks pretty awesome, but I like all the black still. So it's a short black cape, black armor all over, of course a black cowl, but it has the red logos. Of course, remind me a lot of like Darkseid stuff with the red, especially with the details and everything going through his body, which is cool. But I like the red on the black, looks very awesome. It stands out and it goes all the way down his legs. So just very cool looking Batman-ish figure here of Omega. Looks pretty awesome overall. But for his movements, his head there can twist a little side to side. It's kind of real stiff there, and he can look down and up. Again, not much movement in the head at all. The shoulders can come up 90 degrees and have a little bit of butterfly joint there, and can rotate around. We get the bicep twist, a double elbow joint that can bend up that far, which is pretty good, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. He has an ab crunch right here, so he can crunch back and forth a little bit, but mostly twist side to side on this one, and then a little bit lower crunch down in the underwear area that allows him to move a little bit more. Hips can come up to 90 degrees there, out to the side that far. He can close to doing the splits. We have the double knee joint that bends up that far in the back, and the normal foot that rocks back and forth, twist all the way around, and has the toe joint on the end of it. We don't have much accessory with this. We do get our base plate, but again, he's actually standing pretty good without it, but again, I'll pop him on as usual. And the only other thing we get are 2 additional hands. So we have 2 fist hands instead of like the open weird hand and sort of like a grasping hand, but again, he doesn't come with anything, so the fist would probably be the best for this figure. And then we get the card, so there's a picture of him from the comics, so again, Last Night on Earth. Around the back, we do see it is Bruce Wayne. He's 6'2", 210 pounds. It says, in a dystopian future, after the fall of the heroes, a new evil rose in Gotham City, calling himself Omega. Empowered with the anti-life equation, he reigns supreme over the entire East Coast. Now Omega is rumored to have gained the means to control the mind of every living being on Earth, and it's up to Batman, Wonder Woman, and a band of new heroes to defeat the worst villain ever known and free the world. So again, we're not getting a lot of horror storyline stuff. We just get very vague stuff that, you know, kind of already told you. Like I said, I couldn't really find much stuff online, but besides that sort of basic stuff, like this character was the one that had the most known about it, since, you know, it is Bruce Wayne. You know, people kind of went in depth on this guy, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of detail for this whole storyline in general without reading the whole comic storyline. But I do think this is a cool looking Batman, but again, it's just another Batman-like McFarlane figure. It's pretty much all we seem to get are Batman characters, but I still think it does look pretty cool, so it'd be an awesome one to add to the shelf. And we're ending off here with our Build-A-Figure of Bane, which is Bane looks awesome, so he's big and bulky and creepy and just exactly like you'd want in a Bane, but like I said, he does look a little bit different where he's got this all palish skin. It does have some details put into it, it's like some yellowish colors or stuff added in here, but he looks very awesome and cool, so I like how he's got, of course, his little head there with his Bane mask on it, so the black leather mask with the white around it, of course, his red eyes in there. He's got this black tank top over the top, he's got some bands and stuff there on his arms, black gloves on his wrists, and unfortunately I can't get them together. There's, like I said, a lot of issues with this Bane. I was actually able to get the legs on pretty easily. I think we got them on fully. They haven't really been falling off or anything. The arms were hard to get on though, and then this wrist I cannot get on at all, and I've kind of like just putting this Bane together is like, of course, hurt my hands. As you can see, I have some marks left on my hand there and everything from trying to put them together. So again, the black outfit, so he's got black pants on going into some big black boots, got some nice armor padding there, belt on with a red circle there in the center of it, and some pockets going around to the back, and then of course the venom flowing into his body, making him this big guy there with the cartridges on his arms and the tubes and everything. So he looks awesome. He's super big, and it's just a nice looking character. Our first Bane from the new McFarlane McFarlane stuff, but it just looks pretty awesome and big and bulky, but I don't think in movements and figure-wise he's like the best. So for those movements, his head together can twist all the way around, and yeah, you can barely get any movement, just a little bit of rocking back and forth there. The shoulders, I don't know how much we're going to get movement, can rise up a little bit there, close to 90 degrees at least, and can rotate just a little bit around in there. We have the elbow joints, which I could not get loose, and yeah, I still don't think they're very loose or anything. Yeah, I can't get them to move at all. So unfortunately, can't get the, oh, there's one. So I can get this elbow to move back and forth there. And as I mentioned, the wrists aren't very good, so like this one's a little bit better. It allows it to twist around at least, but it doesn't stick in that well. And then we do have the joint that allows it to rock back and forth. And again, it's just falling out there. We do have a little bit of a crunch and twist at the waist here, so it can crunch there, you know, just rock back and forth, but it can twist all the way around there at the waist. Then the hips, we don't get really any up movements at all, but we do have some thigh twist up in there. You can get his legs to twist around. We do have the knee joint, the single knee joint that can end up, well, bending him there. I just got his leg to pop off. So apparently the legs aren't on that good. They were until just doing this. But so anyway, so we do have some movement in the knee there, so get some bends, and then the foot can also rock back and forth. The legs are real stiff, so they can rock back and forth there, and then they also can twist side to side, which is great for figures, not the stupid ball joints. But of course, it's a figure that just doesn't go together well at all. And then we have the toe joint on the end of the foot as well. So again, this figure looks awesome. Like, it's like I said, not the best looking Bane ever. I wish we just had like your standard Bane, but it's not overall too bad, but it just sucks with these joints. So apparently the thighs don't go together. I thought we had got, you know, I thought we had a rare figure where the thighs would actually go together. The shoulders took forever to get popped in just because the way they're designed, and then it feels like there's too much opening in the back compared to the front, like for space, so you can't really get much movement. And then the stupid wrist, I can't even get to stick in at all. Like, it's just kind of floating in there currently. So not the best Build-A-Figure at all. Looks cool, but Build-A-Figure wise, I have to say it's pretty disappointing. I just, overall joints and stuff for me are just such a pain with DC. It's just such an annoying piece of stuff for me. Like I said in past videos, I hate fighting with figures, and every time I do DC Multiverse, I have to fight with figures, and it's just super annoying. But with the Bane as well, as you saw from the picture with the Scarecrow and stuff, we can take the Scarecrow and pop him on the back. So again, he does have this little peg that sticks out of the front there, which looks kind of weird, but Bane does have a little hole there in his back, so you can just take and stick the Scarecrow on it, and you just got to get the peg into the back like that. It's not in there very well at all, but it is on there, I guess, for now. And then you just got to move his arms around so it looks like he's, you know, trying to like actually hang off the back of Bane and stuff. And that's about the best I can do there. I can't really get him to peg in very much, so just a little bit of movements and he just falls right out. So even that doesn't work too great. Like I said, it looks cool. It'd be awesome to get this together, but McFarlane needs to do something different with all their joints. Like, this is just such a pain and annoyance. And for me, these are my brother's figures, so if it was me personally, I would not be buying the McFarlanes. I'm just so tired of dealing with them. But my brother has no issues with them and has been buying McFarlanes for years, so he's dealt with these issues before and doesn't mind it, but it's just so annoying to me. So there's our entire wave of the McFarlane DC Multiverse last night on Earth wave with the Build-A-Bane figure in the back there. So overall, I like the look of the figures. The looks are something different. We get something new, so you know, that's always great. But it's just the figures themselves are always just a pain in the butt, especially dealing with that Build-A-Figure Bane. But let me know what you thought of this wave in the comments. Have you picked this wave up for yourself, and have you been having issues with these figures, or are you just kind of avoiding it with the issues I have? But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed, please hit that subscribe button. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.